Hi, good morning. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Overflow Life with Dr. Okay. Yeah, it's been a wonderful week. This is the week following Children's Day, and so it's been tugging in my heart, praying for children, talking about children. That's what it's been. If you don't know, if you're new to me, I work with children. I've worked with children for over 25 years, almost 30 years. I've worked with children, so they occupy a very big space in my heart. I love children. I love working with children and have seen how children are molded in it, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video today. I had a discussion with a parent, and she was the child was doing something off, and I was talking to her. I said, why not pick him up? Why is he acting that way? And she said, that's what he usually does. When he's angry, he throws tantrum, he will throw things, he will do that. I said, why would you allow a toddler to go through that torture and emotion? She said, no, he doesn't listen. When you're talking, he doesn't listen. I say, a child just small in it. I said, you have to be a leader in the relationship. And who is a leader, you may ask? A leader is someone who has a vision, who has seen a vision. The vision may not be his. Vision may have been given to him, but he's to lead a team to achieve it. So the leader sees what is ahead and tries to get every single person in the team to contribute their part to achieve that. And sometimes the individuals in the team may not even know they have the capacity or ability to do it. So it's the responsibility of the leader to pull that out from the people by giving them responsibilities, by giving them tasks that will make them achieve what he wants because of the overall goal that he has in mind. So in the relationship, as a parent-child relationship, the parent has to be the leader, setting the course. You're putting in place boundaries. You're letting the child know this is how far you can go and this is what you should do for this reason, that you make the child know. So I just thought about it and said, let me do a video that centers around children and how to relate with children. So today I'll talk about how to instill kindness and tolerance in our young ones, in our children. Because for children, the developmental stage of children between the age of 1 and 12, you can instill all that you want and you can go to sleep, because the foundation of the child is already built up, and then the child has modeled what they want. And the thing about children is that they learn more from what they see you do than what you tell them to do. So you can be there and feel like you don't raise your voice, you don't shout, you don't do this. But when they see you do it, they would rather do what they see you do than what you told them to do. So they are very impressionable. So they mop up what they see from you. So it's what you model, the behavior that you model is what they adapt to, is what they try to live by. So today, let's look at kindness and tolerance, how to instill kindness and tolerance in our children. The first thing, of course, is modeling the behavior. So if you're going to tell the child that you have to be kind to people, you have to be patient, tolerate people, it means you are observing that, you're doing it, and the child can observe that in you. You're demonstrating kindness, you're tolerant to people around you, including the child. You're able to set that good example for the child to see. So the first thing you should do is model that behavior, whatever behavior. It doesn't have to be kindness and tolerance alone. Whatever behavior you want your child to be, model it to the child. Number 2, you have to encourage empathy in the child. Encouraging empathy, you make the child understand that to share their feelings, how they feel about something, is not a bad thing. I feel this about it, you made me feel this way. So they talk about, children are very vocal if you allow them to, but if you shut them up and they don't talk, it becomes a problem, because a child growing up has many questions. If you have toddlers, you have children, you know, they have lots of questions. When these questions are answered, their emotions are satisfied, so they grow up to be a balanced individual. But when those questions are not answered, those questions remain in them, they grow up and they begin to find way of expressions, and that's how you have dysfunctional adults. You have adults who don't who are not able to talk well with people. They raise their voice, they are very critical, they are, that is it, they were not able to express themselves, and they have unanswered questions from childhood. I think I'm going to do a video on that, answering those questions from childhood, the inner child, talking about the inner child, how you relate to the inner child. That's not what we're talking about today. Let's face what we're talking about. So empathy, you should encourage them to do. Empathy is just understanding how the other person feels, putting yourself in the shoes of the other person. So if you're able to help your child know that everybody has feelings, they will deal with people with respect. So in whatever way they are acting, what they are doing, they should be able to put themselves on the other side of the table to be able to receive what they are doling out to the other person. This is very important because it will cut bullying. A child that is empathetic will not bully another child because the child is able to put themselves on the other end. All right, so another thing is positive reinforcement. You have to reward kindness and tolerance. If you see a child display that, you should give the child thumbs up. Oh my goodness, you mean you were able to do that? You gave someone help, you helped someone to carry something, you are my champion. You raise the positive energy in that child by doing that. So positive reinforcement, you encourage, it will definitely encourage the child to repeat the behavior, because knowing that this thing I did gain that. There are things that you should see a child do, just like I said, maybe help an adult to carry the bag or do something without being asked to, and the child does that. That is a very good way to develop good virtue in a child. So it should be encouraged in the child. You should also create an inclusive environment. Inclusive environment means that you're celebrating the diversity that you have in other children. So you let your child know that other children can behave in certain ways because of culture and what they do in it. Understand that and celebrate that. I have a child who's one of the parents is from the western part of Nigeria, where they kneel to greet, they bow to greet. The boys will just go flat on the floor when they see an elder to greet, and the girls, they kneel to greet. And one day after service, she just came and she just knelt down, and we were asking, I said, what's happening? And she just went down that this is her new style. She wants to be very respectful. This is what she wants to do now. We just laughed over it. But the thing is, amongst children, you should let them know that there are different cultures and people can behave in certain way. And when she's doing that, the other children who were with her were just standing and laughing because it's a new thing for them to know. But helping children to know that there's diversity, people can be different, and it doesn't make them any bad or doesn't make them any less, but they are still human and all. That will help. So we've done modeling, you encourage empathy, reinforce positive behavior, then you can create an all-inclusive environment where they tolerate one another, and not, you teach the children how to resolve conflict. So the fact that I don't agree with what you're doing does not make you bad. So we can agree on, this is what we're going to do, and that is what you want to do. Okay, I can do mine, you can do yours. So you come and join me a bit, I'll come and join. So you encourage them to be able to settle issues that they have amongst themselves by helping them explain. I've had children play in the playground and they have disagreements. All you just need to do is to bring them together, the two of them together. What happened? Just to say, what happened? This to say, I say, what would you have done differently in it? Okay, I would have allowed him to have the toy. What would you have done differently? I would have asked nicely, because sometimes all you just take is for you to step back and replay the action, what had happened, and you just find solution in it. And I've seen that happen over and over again amongst children. So you just have them What could you have done differently? And they say, and the problem is also, you encourage them, you teach them how to resolve conflict without it aggravating, without it escalating for them to get angry and fight. And you just say, so you encourage them to listen, encourage them to communicate their feelings, how they feel about what is happening. In that way, they're able to resolve it without it escalating. Another thing, you can promote active listening. Like I said, communication, for you to be able to listen to the other child. The example I gave, when you have two children who are disagreeing over something, just have them replay it again, one listening to the other, and ask them, what could you have done differently about this? And you can find solution with it. So the solution is coming from them. You make them see it, make them see what it could have been. You acted this way, and what could you have done differently? It gives them opportunity to think, and they're able to get that. And another thing that plays a major role in teaching children skills and helping them to do things on their own is when you use real life situations to teach them. It can be stories. You can tell stories, read storybooks, and tell them about behavior of different people. But what really helps to drive it home is they're seeing it, they can picture it, is when it's a real life situation. If you see something that happened, maybe a movie you're watching or something that just happened, and you use that to draw out lessons for them to, you just highlight the theme of what they're saying, whatever it is, you just highlight that, they get to learn. For instance, if you have a child that walk past, you're walking along with your child or with your children, and a child walk past and the child did not greet, which I don't know why that is so common with some children now. They just walk past and they don't greet, and you tap. What I usually do, I'll just tap the child and say, good morning, or good afternoon, or good night. Oh, sorry, good morning in it. And then you can tell your child, it's not right for an adult to be the one to greet you. My pastor used to say then that when a younger person greets an adult, you score up points. But when the adults now be the one to greet you, they take up that point from you. Something like that, as she said in it. So don't allow the adult to eat up your scores. So you should be the one that is greeting. So as a child, if you walk past an elderly person, someone who is older, you just even have to be someone older. You see someone, as you see the person, eye contact or no, you just greet, good morning, good afternoon, with a smile. And that's your storing up points for yourself. So you can use real life situations to teach. You can read stories and draw out lessons from it for the child to learn from. And then you can say, what does real teaching kindness and tolerance, what would that be? Yes, there are soft skills. These are things that will bring that will help the child cultivate resilience. The child will cultivate resilience in them. The child will develop emotional intelligence in it. You may say, a little child, emotional intelligence. Yes, what's emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is just being in the other person's shoe, understanding what that person is going to, and respecting the person's emotions concerning that situation. That's emotional intelligence. So if you teach your child kindness and you teach your child tolerance, for sure the child will be able to reason and relate with others better. The child on their own will be able to develop resilience. So the thing is, if you can step back and listen to someone talk, you can express yourself, you can communicate well with the person. Of course, there are things that you learn from that. Social skill, that is it. You're communicating, you're relating with others, you're able to resolve conflicts with the other person. You're good, you're raising a child who is stable and be able to relate with people around. And another skill that will give to the child will be conflict management. They will be able to resolve. You've seen children, they see, if you see children play in the playground, I do that a lot, and I just watch them play every Sunday. When they play on the playground, we'll have a very big playground in church where the children play, and you see them in cliques. Of course, they have their friends, and you will see a child that will stand out, and that will be the leader of the team. It's not as if they had an election or anything, but that child just had leadership skill. Is able to pull them together and tell them what to do. When something is going wrong, he will be the one to point out, no, why did you shouldn't have done that. This is what you do. So in you raising your child, and you're teaching your child kindness, you're teaching your child tolerance, you're teaching your child to be patient with other people, you're instilling in the child leadership quality, and the child will be able to manage conflict. Your child will be resilient. Just understand that they're able to relate with things and all. And morally, ethically, your child will be doing well because they understand how to relate with people. And they see moral and ethical behavior is a foundation for all that you do with your child. So you will not have your child going to get into something and is not able to tell what is right or wrong. So because you've taught your child how to be kind, how to tolerate others, how to be patient, your child will know what to do. So delayed gratification wouldn't be a big thing for the child because the child is able to wait, listen, understand, process things, and the child will do better. So instilling kindness and tolerance in our children is a good skill for personal development for the child, and that helps the child to be able to integrate into the society, and will have a better society because the child you're teaching today is going to be the adult of tomorrow. And so if the child has been able to learn by you modeling this behavior in the child will be able to relate with people and be in a better society. These skills will not only enhance the child's social interaction, but it will also contribute to the overall development of the child and be able to live a successful life. So I encourage you, as a caregiver for a child or you're a parent in it, instill in your child kindness, instill in your child tolerance to be able to relate with others. These are social behavior that will help the child to be successful later in life, even as they grow up as children and they become teenager. All right, hope you have a lovely weekend, and bye till I come your way again. This is Dr. Okay of the Overflow Life. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. When you subscribe and I come and I see you subscribe, I know that you're getting value from it, and I'm encouraged to keep doing what I do. I enjoy what I do. I'm sure you can tell. I enjoy what I do, and so I can keep doing this and coming back to do this. So subscribe and share to others that you think will benefit from it. So enjoy your weekend and see you when I come into your space again. Bye.
Like, subscribe, and click on the notification button. Thank you till I come your way again.